Hi, I'm Pastor Stephanie Lape from Cross and Crown Lutheran Church in Rancho Cucamonga, and I'm talking this week about things that you can do to help alleviate some of your anxiety if you are feeling anxiety these days. So I talked about how it's helpful to take your anxious thoughts and your concerns to God in prayer and ask for what it is that you would like instead. And then I talked also about practicing the art of mindfulness, and it really is actually a skill that people can develop over time. It takes a long time to do this, so be really patient with yourself. But if you just give it a few minutes a day through meditation and some focus, then I think that might help you if you have some anxiety. And then yesterday I talked about how it is so healing to be out in nature. I just went for a walk around my block just a little while ago this morning, and it's just so wonderful to see the sky and the mountains and trees. And so wherever it is you live, just remember to look up at the sky, look out at nature. Nature is in itself a sermon of well-being in this world. So hopefully those things have helped you. Well, today I'm going to talk to you about one of my favorite things to do to really help if I ever have anxious thoughts. And I even do it as a preventive measure. Even if I'm not feeling anxious, I do this every day. And that is read the scriptures, read the Bible. And I want to, as a suggestion, encourage you to read the Bible less. And that probably sounds pretty funny and pretty counterintuitive for a pastor to say, please read the Bible less. I don't mean less frequently. Actually, read the Bible more frequently, probably, if you're not reading it very frequently, but read less of it. And the reason that I say this is because I have had so many people tell me over the years, yeah, I know it's important to read the Bible, and I tried to read through it, and I just got bogged down at Leviticus. Of course you did. Leviticus is boring. It's boring. I mean, no disrespect to Leviticus. I've read it myself. It's actually really helpful if you read the entire Bible as a biblical scholar in a disciplined kind of way to see the patterns, the overall patterns of the whole Bible. But as a devotional practice, it's not very helpful to read Leviticus or some of those other books. My recommendation, take it or leave it, is to read just a little bit of the Bible, not try to rush through it, and read a little bit every day. And you don't need to read it in order like a novel from Genesis to Revelation. You don't need to do that. I mean, that's helpful if you want to know biblical scholarship and really dig into the scriptures. But if you're trying to come to it every day as a devotional practice to help alleviate some anxiety, to help you know that God is there, to help get you grounded and started in the morning so that you can have a firm foundation for the rest of the day, I wouldn't do that. What I would do is I would read, well, like I do, one psalm every day, or one chapter of a gospel, like one chapter of Matthew every day. The reason I say read less is because if you're just doing these huge chunks, trying to get through it like another novel, sometimes the depth of it, the point of it, the meat of it, the real spiritual lesson of it, it eludes us if we go too quickly. So let me give you an example. The other day I opened the Bible and I read just a little bit of Jeremiah. So listen to this and listen to how this applies to what's going on right now with this virus happening in the world and how people are feeling. These are the words from God, and it's in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 29, verses 11 through 14. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Then you will call upon me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. I will be found by you, declares the Lord, and will bring you back from captivity. I will gather you from all the nations and places where I have banished you, declares the Lord, and will bring you back to the place from which I carried you into exile. Now, rather than going further, let's read those same 4 verses again. And again, think about how this applies to you, to God in your life, and to what's going on these days. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Then you will call upon me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. I will be found by you, declares the Lord, and will bring you back from captivity. I will gather you from all the nations and places where I have banished you, declares the Lord, and will bring you back to the place from which I carried you into exile. Isn't that powerful? You know how it feels if somebody says one sentence of encouragement. You can carry that throughout the whole day. You know how it feels when you read one little bit of disappointing news from a media channel. You know the power of just the small spoken word. Sometimes in our culture in the West, we believe that bigger is better and more is more. And yet, Jesus said, become like a child. Jesus said, the last will be first. Jesus said, honor the least of these. Jesus said, you can have faith as small as a mustard seed. Jesus always talked about going smaller, littler, and more least to find what's most powerful. Jesus gave a bit of bread, a bit of wine. Jesus took the small things that the boy offered to the thousands, the small loaves and fishes, and out of the small things made miracles happen. Go small. Don't go big here. Go smaller, smaller than before. If you're used to reading a chapter of the Bible, read only half of a chapter and read it several times. Even go down to one phrase, the phrase that stands out to you the most, and read that several times. But here's the thing, do it often. Do it every day. I take these vitamins, these multivitamins every day. I wouldn't want to store up 30 of them and take them at the 30th of every month. That's not where the power lies. The power lies in the small vitamin, but done frequently. So my suggestion to you is that you find these pieces of absolute strength and hope and love and faith. Find those in those small bits every day, and they really will keep you grounded. It's like putting on your spiritual clothing every morning. It does wonders for any kind of anxiety you might be facing. Tomorrow, I will show you a very specific exercise that has very much helped me when dealing with any kind of problem, any kind of anxiety. It's a really helpful exercise. So thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet, and I'll see you soon. May God bless you and keep you. Bye-bye.